Hello, and welcome back to Adults After Dark. My name is Mimi. I am your host, as usual. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. Thank you all of you who have subscribed. I noticed that there are a few people that actually listen to the episodes and are not subscribed. So, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know every time an episode is uploaded. This is an adult conversation. There is actually no video, it is all audio. And so far, I hope you guys have been enjoying these conversations. If there are some topics that you want us to touch on, leave a comment down below and we would do some research on those topics and um, get them aired for you. So, in tonight's episode, we are discussing holding grudges with your partner, your spouse, your significant other. So, guys, go ahead and start now thinking about that. Have you held grudges? Do you hold grudges? Are you the person, that holds grudges or what have you? You can start commenting down below. And while you are doing that, we are going to briefly recap on last week's audio conversation, which was having friends of the opposite sex. So, having friends of the opposite sex, I think can be kind of tricky. It depends on the friend and depends on your partner. I'm okay with my spouse having friends of the opposite sex. It doesn't bother me. Like I said before, I am secure in my marriage, and I'm pretty sure that he is as well. But I can honestly say I have not hung out with my opposite sex friends in years. Now, some of us, we do still conversate on the phone. We still do text each other every once in the blue moon. But that's about it. We don't hang out or any of that. Um, yeah, so like I said, it can be kind of iffy, depends on your spouse, your partner, your significant other. Some people just not having it, you know. They don't care if you've been friends for 30 years. Some people just not having it. But yeah. So for tonight's episode, it is holding grudges. And guys, I have to tell you, I can hold a grudge forever. I can hold a grudge. I know it's not healthy to do that, but it all depends on why I'm upset with you. If it's something major, I will hold a grudge, honey. Let me tell you, sometimes me and my husband will argue. And by the way, he can hold a grudge too. Okay. Sometimes we can argue and we would literally walk around this house and not say anything to anybody. And it can be for days. It can be for days. And it's like, my house is big enough where I don't have to be in the same room with him or vice versa. But I can hold a grudge and so can he. Like I said, we've held grudges for almost a week one time. And even if one of us just breaks the ice and be like, what you want for dinner? Say like if I ask him, what you want for dinner and he tell me, that could be the only thing that I say to him for the whole day. Like literally. And then he would, kind of do the little small talk or whatever. And then I give him the one word answers. Yep. Really? Nope. Whatever. Some dumb. And it's not healthy. I know it's not healthy. But sometimes he just makes me so mad. I just want to strangle him, and to keep from strangling him, I just don't say anything to him. I can hold a grudge. So if you ever upset me, you can best believe, depending on what it is that I'm upset about, I will most definitely hold a grudge. Um, like I said, I know it's not healthy, but that's just the way it is sometimes. I know some people are more of talkers, so if you have a problem with somebody or your partner, whatever, and you go ahead and talk it out, you might leave the room to kind of calm down a little bit, but you eventually talk it out, in a few minutes, I guess because you don't want to say something out of pocket, say something that you regret. It don't matter to me because my husband and I, we have hit below the belt. I have literally cursed him several times. And I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't hit below the belt until he does. Sometimes when he sometimes it seems like he try to start something and I ignore it, and then he just keep on, then he wanna get in your face and then when he start doing that, okay, just Mimi, just walk away. Just walk away. And then he just keep on and then it just come out. It's like I would have been holding it in for so long. Like I've just been holding everything in and not saying, and that's what it feels like. And everything just comes out, and then he is everything but what his mother named him. Like literally, he is every name under the sun except what his mother named him. And then for the rest of the day, I won't say anything to him. And then it bothers me. It just, I will keep thinking about it, keep thinking about it, like, why did it get this far? But I'm stubborn. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not finna apologize. I'm not finna do any of that. When I get over it, if I get over it, then that's when I do. Yeah, so I can hold a grudge. So guys, let me know um about you all, if you holding grudges, if you can hold a grudge, have you held a grudge? How long did you hold a grudge for? Was it against your spouse, your significant other, your partner? Was it against your friends or what have you? Yeah, let me know. Yep. So I remember one time he had upset me so bad. So usually, like when I'm leaving the house, if I'm going to work or running to the store, running whatever I'm doing, I kiss him goodbye. I see you later. I'm finna go do this, do that. I didn't give him no kiss. I didn't say anything to him. I just walked straight out the door. I didn't call him like sometimes how you check in with each other and call each other throughout the day, like at work and stuff. I didn't do that. When he would call me, I would ignore the call. I'm just like, I don't want to talk to you. And then when I do answer the phone, he still had a little snotty attitude, like, he just calling me, hey, you seen the sugar? Just example. You seen the sugar? No, I ain't seen it. Okay, bye. And click and hang up. That's his way of kind of breaking the ice. But then when I get home, it'll be something like, well, I found the sugar. And I just be like, And I just keep on going. I still won't say anything or none of that. Y'all, I'm telling you, when I hold grudges, I got it so bad. And I keep saying that I was going to stop doing that because, life is too short to be holding grudges like that. It's not fun. And then it kind of raises your blood pressure. It plays on your mental and all that stuff, right? So, yeah, but like I said, comment down below what you guys think. So, again, I found this article. It's a small article. It's very small. And this is from a magazine called Elite Daily. There is, yeah, it's on here. It's The author is Rachel Chateau, and this article was written on September 20th of 2019. So this is a couple of years old, and it's like I said, it's from Elite Daily. That's the name of the magazine. And this one is Here's How Holding Grudges Can Impact Your Relationship. Have you ever had a fight with your partner or just couldn't forgive? Maybe the issue kept coming up every single time you fought, or perhaps you buried it deep down and kept returning to it because of insecurity or lack of trust. There are several ways holding grudges can impact your relationship, and according to Dr. Gary Brown, a prominent couples therapist in Los Angeles, a growing number of grudges can a growing number of grudges and resentment can really weaken your bond. Okay, this is this is true regardless of whether or not you communicate your resentment to your partner, because, as Dr. Brown says, a grudge is an unresolved hurt and anger that needs to be addressed. Holding grudges means that there is unfinished business in your relationship. Unfinished business is analogous to rust. Slowly eats away at the core of your love. His advice is to try and truly forgive your partner whenever possible. Sometimes it's just not possible. And you know what? My husband has the thing that he will not apologize. Even if he is wrong, he will not apologize. We've been together for 19 years, and I think he's apologized to me maybe, I want to say, maybe 3 times, if 3 times. And he was wrong. So I started doing the same thing. I know it's wrong, but you know, two wrongs don't make a right. But if you wrong, you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Even if I had to tell them, well, you know, you wrong on this. And then that pisses me off too, because if you're wrong, you need to admit that you're wrong and apologize. Now, me, I used to do that. I used to admit when I was wrong. You know, after a while, you sit back and think about the conversation, the scenario that went on. You know, you think about it in your head, and if I'm wrong, I say that I'm wrong, and then I apologize. And then it's been a couple times where I wasn't wrong, but I apologize anyway, just to move on. He won't do that, and so there lies me holding a grudge again. So anyway, where were we? His advice is to try and truly forgive your partner whenever possible. Sometimes it is relatively easy to do, and sometimes it's difficult, he admits. Brown adds that it's important not to just go through the motions, but to actually put in the work it takes to forgive. When you don't want to What you don't want to do is say, I forgive you, when you really don't mean it. He says, this is what I sometimes refer to as false forgiveness. Typically, this means that one of your partners secretly holding a grudge. The key reason it's important not to hold on to grudges, Brown says, that grudges can lead to resentment, a true relationship killer. When you hold on to a grudge, and depending upon what happened that resulted in you feeling a grudge, is that we tend to feel resentment over time, he shares. And when you hold on to resentment, it turns into something even more toxic that can really undermine a relationship. Bitterness. Once you've reached that point of bitterness, it is extremely difficult to come back unless you and your partner find a way to work it out. Grudges can also impact a relationship by eroding the trust between partners. Regardless of who is holding on to resentment, there may not only be resentment by the partner who is holding a grudge, but your partner may also begin to feel a grudge that you aren't letting go. It can lead to an impasse that prevents your relationship from growing into something more fulfilled for both of you. It is the resenting in your relationship. The first step is addressing the issue is to do some self-reflection. One of the first things you need to do is to examine just why you continue to hold a grudge. So that's what I just said. So sometimes I have to sit back and think about. Matter of fact, at a lot of all the time, I should say, when we get into an argument, a disagreement, a spat, or whatever, it bothers me. I'm holding this grudge, and I know that I should say something because I'm constantly thinking about it, and I'm constantly playing the scenario in my head. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, well, I shouldn't say feel like, but my thing is, if you and your partner are having an argument or disagreement or spat or whatever, you have to listen to your partner. You don't listen to respond, but listen to what the issue is that got you, you two in that predicament in the first place. Don't just listen to respond, say, "Oh, you're wrong." Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? Listen to understand. That's all I'm saying. Just listen to understand, and I think with that, it'll resolve a whole lot of issues and grudge holding. Now, me, like I said, I it could be a whole week. I keep playing a scenario back in my head, and it's like I would hate to go home because I hate to see him because I know what he did. You know what I'm saying? I know how he made me feel, and I shouldn't feel like that. That's not cool. So I'm still holding this grudge a week later, even after we decide to make up, have we made up. I'm still thinking about that incident that happened. I'm still playing it back in my head. Okay, so if you felt wrong in some way by something your partner said or did and left you feeling hurt, then it is important that you communicate this to your partner. He advises. The second part may be especially difficult when it's something you've been holding on to for a long time. But Dr. Brown says to truly move forward, you have to be willing to open up. Secretly holding on to a grudge can seriously hamper your ability to move on. It can leave you feeling stuck. Talk to your partner. You need to let them know if it is. You need to let them know, even if it was over something relatively small. Otherwise, you could get into a bad habit of holding on to grudges in general. Yeah, that sounds like me all day long. Okay, so here's something that's how do I stop holding grudges with my partner? To let go of a grudge, try some of these suggestions. Number one, acknowledge the grudge. Figure out what it is that's causing you to hold on to the grudge. Number two, communicate. Number three, see the things from their perspective. Number four, accept the situation. Number five, don't dwell. Number six, stay positive. Number seven, choose to forgive. Okay, so here are 8 signs you're holding a grudge even if you don't think you are. Holding a grudge likely doesn't make you feel any better about what transpired, but sometimes it just happens. And you may be holding a grudge even if you don't think you are. Feeling bitter, ignoring that person, getting angry about unrelated things, and thinking about them negatively are all signs you still be holding grudges. Despite your best efforts, it's impossible not to be hurt or disappointed by loved ones at some point in your life. But often the most challenging aspect of getting hurt is letting go of any lingering resentment after you forgive them. Sometimes you may find that you're holding a grudge even if you're not if even if you're doing so unintentionally. Knowing what sort of things might mean that you're holding a grudge, even if you don't think you are, can help you figure out a way to move forward. You lost your cool over something unrelated. When you're holding a grudge, all sorts of things can cause you to get frustrated. Not only that, but you can find yourself taking advantage of any opportunity to let your voice be heard. And that means that you might sometimes get upset over things that really aren't relating to what you're actually upset about. You may have a grudge towards someone but pretend like things are fine until an unrelated issue sets us off. Okay, putting too much cream in a coffee or fighting over a TV remote can turn into a major blow up due to the backlog of unresolved feelings in a relationship. Thinking about what you are actually upset about or why you had that reaction to something that seemingly minor can help you figure out what is actually the root of the issue. Often we'll find ourselves avoiding someone that we have resentment or an unresolved issue with. We find great excuses to do a task in another room from our partner, become slow to return phone calls from a friend, or feel that they're too busy to get together. I swear that is so me. That is me to a T. I actually do all of those things, and it's not healthy, and I know it's not healthy. If you're upset with someone, even if you're not fully aware that you are, you may not want to spend a ton of time with them. It's understandable, but recognizing what's going on and talking things through with them can help you move on. If you find yourself avoiding someone you have previously been close to, reflect on what happened in the last time you were together, or even further into the past. Consider talking about the problem so that you can feel comfortable with them again. If you still feel bitter, holding on to feelings of resentment is a surefire way to tell that you're not over an issue. If you are unable to move forward without feeling embittered or angry when you think about the incident, then you're probably harboring a grudge. Moving on means choosing not to let the hurt and anger have power over you. When the resentment persists, the grudge is still going strong. When you think about them, your feelings are negative. The best way to tell if you're holding a grudge is to use your memory. Take a look at the feelings that arise immediately after you think about an old friend, a past coworker, or an ex. If your first reaction is negative, it's likely that there is an underlying reason that you feel that way, even if you can't recall what the reason is. You might not always think that you're still upset with someone or over a certain thing, but you very well could be. Thinking about that sort of feelings a person or situation brings up can help you figure out what's really going on. It says you're all about fairness or want to make sure that they see things from your side. If you are mostly concerned with the other person understanding where you were coming from and ensuring that they see your side of things, that's another potential sign that you might be holding a grudge. Resentment is the feeling we have been wronged by someone else, and holding a grudge is the belief that we feel better when we have shown the other person how angry we are. If you can hurt them like they've hurt us, you might not think that you're doing it, but it very well could be. You feel nothing. Feeling indifferent to a person in another way that you might be able to tell that you're secretly harboring a grudge. Preventing yourself from feeling anything requires a lot of effort. Um, Choosing to become emotionally detached and uninterested in someone you're trying to forgive. Why spend that much time and energy? It's because you're still holding a grudge. You cancel plans at the last minute. There are days you just want to stay in rather than go anywhere. That's true for just about everyone, but if you feel like you need to or want to cancel plans with someone, you might want to reflect a bit more on the reason why. You might plan to get together with a friend or go out with your boyfriend, but then decide to cancel at the last minute just because you don't feel right about it or aren't up to it. The feeling that causes you to want to back out is likely a resentment lurking beneath the surface. Thinking a bit more about what's going on can help you figure out if you are canceling plans because you truly want to stay in or because there is something else going on. It's easy for you to get irritated with them. Think about how much emotional threshold you have toward most people, even annoying ones. Now compare that to how much emotional reserve you have towards someone you feel wronged you. It's less. It's a wound that barely healed. Irritability towards someone you're working to forgive is a barrier to overcoming a grudge. Talking through things in with the person in question or working through things with the assistance of a trained professional can help you move forward once and for all. And so there's a lot of different ways of holding grudges. Now, I didn't think that as far as not talking to them a long period of time or um, um, having a underlying problem where you just blowing them off or you have an attitude every time you see them. I didn't think that far into it. I didn't know that that was actually a thing where there's an underlying problem where you're still holding a grudge, even excuse me, even if you've made up with that person or you think that you've made up with that person. So that's a good scenario that there's an underlying problem. Guys, comment down below. What do you think about that? As far as holding a grudge. Because like I said, with me, I can hold a grudge for a long time, and I won't forget what you did. Now well, I can forgive, but I guess forgetting is still kind of holding a grudge because a lot of people that I was friends with and we're no longer friends because of something so minute that happened years ago, and then I just don't want to be bothered with that person no more. So let me give you an example. So I had a neighbor next door to me. They're no longer living over there, but we were really cool, right? We hung out together. They came over here. I went to their house. So the neighbor was kind of messing around with one of my husband's friends, right? And so my husband's friend, he would come over like when he get paid, and he would, buy the cocktails. He would buy, in this particular time, he bought the cocktails and he bought like either two or three large pizzas. And we were just kicking and hanging out and everything. And so whatever the pizza that was left, we were just able to put it all on one packaging, right? And so this person that I used to be friends with um, went into my kitchen and she was getting some more pizza. And so she was like, well, where's the rest of this pizza and that pizza? I said, well, it's all on one thing now. Get rid of some of all the trash, right? There's no need of all them empty containers sitting up there. We can just put them in one thing. Honey, she went off. Why the hell you put it out on my thing? Oh, I mean, she went completely off. And I say, look, what I'm not going to do is argue over no pizza. That I'm not finna do. And not only that, I didn't buy the pizza. It's not mine to argue over. I'm not doing it. If it was mine to argue over, I'm still not doing it. Either you want to eat this or you don't. There's no need of all this trash sitting in my kitchen when it can be, stored compactly in one container, in one box. You know how the pizza come in a box. Put it all in one box because everybody's eating off all of it anyway, so it don't even matter. Let me tell you, till this day, we're no longer friends. We are no longer friends. Honey, she got to talk about where you said this, and I said, wait a minute. First of all, what does that even have to do with the pizza? That don't have anything to do with the pizza. I didn't say whatever she said that I said, I didn't say. I mean, so what the whole thing was, she got full of the juice, and she gets crazy when she gets full of the juice. So we stopped being friends after that. So my husband's friend came over one night. We were during the summer. A couple years ago, we were sitting on our front porch. We just listened to some music. We just, kicking by ourselves, right? And so he pulls up, and she was in the car, and he had asked me, he was like, I got so-and-so in the car, you want to be bothered? I said, I'm not finna deal with her. I'm not dealing with her after that last incident. I mean, even though it was petty, but she was full of the juice, I'm not finna deal with that. So that means we all sitting out here on the porch. We gonna be drinking, doing adult things, and she gonna get full of the juice again, and it's gonna be another mess. I'm not finna deal with that. I'm a grown woman. I'm not dealing with that. And so he went into the car and told her, and he was like, okay, y'all see y'all later. And they left. I have not seen her. I have not heard from her. She unfriended me on social media and all that. Yep. And I mean, cool. Cool. Cause that was petty. Now I can say I'm probably still holding a grudge. I don't know, but that was petty, and I'm not gonna deal with it. So yeah. So like I said, we're no longer friends. We are. I mean, if I see her on the street, maybe she'll speak. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't seen her, so I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, guys. Yeah. So that was story time now. So, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think about the grudges. Um, do you guys hold grudges? Have you had someone hold a grudge on you? Are you still holding a grudge, or are they still holding a grudge towards you? What happened? Comment down below. Let me know. So, guys, yeah, we're gonna end this episode right here. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's adult conversation, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to share as well. You never know, these conversations may help somebody else out. So, yeah, go ahead and share it. And if you have a topic that you want to talk about, put it in the comments, and we'll do some research on it and get those topics going. And if you decide to put in a topic, we'll tag you in that topic, let you know that this is what's going on for the evening. What conversation is going to be talked about, the topic that you chose. And I think that is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to the channel, but you are continuing to come back and listen, what are you waiting for, honey? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know every time we upload an adult conversation. Talk to you guys next week. Bye.